Welcome back to my stream, everybody. Sorry for that brief diversion. But this time around, I actually want to, okay, so this time around, we actually are going to react to Nintendo news. So, yeah, we're actually going to do that. So, I'm actually excited for that. Alright, so, let me get the volume up. And I want Wind Waker on the Switch, or at least they should be, like, Nintendo should make it available right away on the Switch too. That's my request for Nintendo. Will they actually do it? I don't know. Am I hoping to do it? Am I living in a bubble? Maybe. But I want Nintendo to do it. So let's get that working.
So since we have the rare occurrence of Nintendo confirming their next Nintendo Direct presentation essentially a full month before it's going to take place, because this did come from their own mouths that they will hold one in the month of June, we are going to, in today's video, talk about everything we might see announced at this event, considering that the pipeline is pretty dry this year in 2024 when it comes to new.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is pretty dry. That's not an exaggeration. That's just a factual truth. The Nintendo pipeline has, like, they haven't really been releasing a lot of games in general. I don't know what happened. Like, 2023 was really popular with video game releases. We got Hogwarts Legacy to Baldur's Gate, Liza P, Tears of the Kingdom, which is a Zelda game, and not my it's probably my least favorite. Breath of the Wild was better. And I don't know why that is. I don't know. Okay, let's be honest here. Tears of the Kingdom had better features, such as like fusing weapons to make them stronger. So that was good. But like as far as like specific stuff, Breath of the Wild obviously did better. Well, let me get my second screen working. I'm trying to pop out of chat. It's a lot harder to do. Okay, so let me, now my like mobile screen, there we go. So, yeah, Breath of the Wild is definitely like a better game. I don't know, you might disagree. If you do, let me know in the comments, but if you don't, then okay, we're on the same page at least.
Nintendo Switch software releases, and you know that as we get into the later months of a year, Nintendo does historically like to have a solid software lineup, especially a game or two to really feature and drive additional unit sales towards the holiday shopping season. And we're going to unpack some of the big games and some of the smaller games we might see featured at this event.
Just to be clear, these are the games that are actually coming out. So if it's right from Nintendo, that means it's definitely going to release. Because why else? Nintendo only publishes games that have a really high track record of releasing. The rest of us are just speculating, so
get on the same page with all of that. Make sure you like, subscribe.
By the way, definitely check out this video. I'll link it in chat for those who are interested. Yeah, so if you guys want to watch this on your own without any commentary, make sure you do, and make sure you give this guy a like. He does good work.
Subscribe and turn on your bell notification to join Sunburn Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick it off with a couple games that I feel like are more or less shoo-ins for this event. Now, this could be a combo pack, they could be individual releases, but I am starting off with Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered. And I do tend to think that these are going to be a combo pack. And
by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll definitely be in the description.
And I also tend to think that these are going to be shadow dropped at the event, the same way we saw Metroid Prime 1 remastered shadow dropped, and the outstanding rumor from the same sources that were talking about Prime 1 remastered before it was officially revealed to us was that Prime 2 and 3 would indeed be getting a remastered treatment, but not to the same extent that Prime 1 was.
He's talking about Metroid. I'll be honest here, I'm not really that familiar with Metroid. Yes, I know I missed out on a lot of great things. And a lot of Metroid fans will come after me. I'm sure that'll happen, but let's be honest here, I never played Metroid.
kind of describe.
Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll try it one day on stream once the Switch 2 comes out.
Prime 1 is getting the big boy treatment, and Prime 2 and 3 would get something more simple. I am picturing the modernized controls, but more or less just upscaling the visuals from the original GameCube versions. Well, I should say GameCube and Wii, since Prime 3 Corruption came out on Wii. We're going to have all of the modern control options that were existing in Prime remastered, but I'm not expecting the same level of visual fidelity and lighting system reworks and everything that they did in that incredible value of a game at a $40 release. And I could actually see Prime 2 and 3 remastered being 40, 50, or even 60 if they are in.
Okay, so this is sort of a tangent and diversion, but you know, what is Steam? Let's ask ourselves this. What is Steam? Steam is an online video game distributor for PC games, right? Instead of going to a store and buying a CD, I mean, if you even can, good luck nowadays. It's 2024, come on. But back then, you went to like Best Buy or GameStop and you bought a compact disc, a DVD, and you would install that on your computer. But now you can just go on Steam and buy the game right from there and download it. It's all digital. Why can't Nintendo do that? I know like it's all about like selling consoles and whatnot, but like why can't they like open a digital store? I mean, the PC market is huge already. And if you have a Asus ROG Ally, you can easily, that rivals the Switch. Like it's actually way better than the Switch, but the point I'm trying to make is you get better results on PC than you will on a Switch. I mean, if you don't believe me, check out the emulations on YouTube. So my question is, what about the Nintendo eShop? Yeah, so, I mean, the point I'm trying to make is, like, make Nintendo games available on PC. And the reason I'm going on this tangent is because Nintendo's cracking down on emulators, which they have the right to because they're losing money, but why not create a shop? You know what I mean? Why not create their own, like, just make a PC, make everything a PC port, because they're going to be making way more money than they are right now. Although I'm not sure, I heard different arguments. Yeah, wouldn't it? Like, I mean, I would kill for a Mario Kart. Me too! Oh my god, I would kill, like, let's be honest here, I would kill for any game on a PC. Like, any of their games.
Indeed, a combo pack. The other way we could see Nintendo do it is just give us Prime 2.
Yeah, that's true. They might actually beat them to it, but the problem is Nintendo, you know, being the copyright sharks they are probably going to send cease and desist lawyers. Yeah, I mean, it'll be there temporarily, but then all of a sudden what'll happen was they'll just, like, lose market share. They'll just, like, it'll get taken down, you know, how Nintendo is.
Remastered, and if they do that as a standalone shadow drop, at that point we're probably quite a bit further off from Prime 4, and segueing into Prime 4, I think there's a high likelihood.
Agreed, but emulators have found a way to thrive if there is an open source web version. Okay. I mean, I'm a bit biased. I'm like, my rule of thumb is this: I don't use emulators unless there's absolutely no way to buy a game. Like, I played Wind Waker on an emulator because I wanted to play the Wind Waker. Okay. And I did not have a Wii U, and I didn't want to dust it out. So, Mario Kart JS is the project. It's still in the works. Oh, I gotta check it out. You know, why don't we do that? Let's check out Mario Kart JS. Press enter to start. Mouse, keyboard. Actually, I'll just use my mouse and keyboard because I don't want to confirm that. I have quite... What engine is this? This is JavaScript? I know JS is JavaScript. I've used Node eons ago. I still know Node. 3J. Oh wait, that's the JavaScript 3D engine. You know, I guess I get to see firsthand experience. Get a firsthand view on exactly like what game engine this is, on its capabilities and whatnot. Okay. As you can tell, it's still, you know, it's still somewhat new. There's a lot of scuff in this demo though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess this is definitely. Oh, but this is cool though. This is kind of cool. I'll link this in chat for those who want to see. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. Either way, I mean, that does have potential, and I'm hoping that Nintendo doesn't actually like take it down, which they probably won't. I don't know. Who knows what Nintendo? They're very unpredictable.
It finally shows up at this event with some kind of gameplay trailer, and I'm kind of 50-50 on my thought process at this point on whether or not we might just see that be the holiday.
Hey, if you're a developer of the Mario Kart JS, can you make one for Wind Waker? Thank you.
Holiday 2024 game. I think it could happen. It could also be saved for the Switch 2 launch window and it gets a cross-generational release, but considering how long it's been in development, we know we're going to get some next-gen Nintendo console news later on, and also Nintendo's going to want to sell this thing on Switch for sure because of the user base that is on Switch at over 141 million strong. Like, I think there is a high likelihood that this...
I always kept comparing Metroid to Halo and always wondered who would win in a fight, Master Chief or Samus. And I did find a video on YouTube that, I don't know if it's still up anymore. I have to actually look for it. But it showed that it was a tie.
This could indeed be their big holiday 2024 new original game that is not a port or remaster, and it's going to be huge for Metroid fans. So while it has been on my prediction list as a potential title showing up at just about every direct I've made prediction videos on in the past,
what's it called? Metroid Prime Echoes? Huh. I don't have an Xbox and would play on the Cube. Oh man.
I think this might...
I used to play Halo with my brothers when I was younger. The Halo 1. The first Halo game. Man, those were the days.
Finally be the time, and June Showcase, you have to remember as a whole, is normally one of the bigger Nintendo Direct presentations. At least it's had that reputation over the years because it's typically been aligned with E3, and even though E3 is not a thing anymore, these major companies...
Yeah, rip E3. Seriously, rip E3.
Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are all holding summertime gaming showcases, and they're trying to more or less outdo each other and win the talk of the people online.
It seems like all these showcases are going, they're becoming decentralized. They're kind of becoming like Bitcoin.
So I could actually potentially see Prime 4 being the show closer for the upcoming Direct. Now, the next game I think could show up in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, one thing I don't want to see is a bunch of farming simulators. Like, we already have enough. Like, everyone is trying to make their own Stardew Valley. Like, no. Just no. I mean, if it's an indie game, sure. But if it's like a AAA studio trying to do that, don't waste everyone's time.
At this Direct, due to a recent leak that we were talking about online. Granted, we don't know exactly what series it's tied to, and maybe it could be either of these series, but I think we could indeed see another Mario Party launch.
Yes, I do have a soft spot for indie games.
On the Switch before the end of this console generation, and this would be another great one to throw on retail shelves around the holiday season. There was recently a leak from Midori that's...
I said this in my previous video on YouTube. Shameless plug, follow me on YouTube, links in my about section. Nintendo seems to be focusing a lot on Mario, which is fine if you're a Mario person, but I just wish they would, you know, put more effort into their Zelda titles, you know. Just more Zelda games, please.
Said that there is a new first-party Nintendo game in development that had the codename Banquet. Now, Buffet was the codename for Super Mario Party, and there's also a lot of speculation this could be tied to Kirby, because Kirby, obviously, the food reference and things clearly linked.
What's cool to me about Stardew Valley is a solo indie dev has managed to create a long lifespan game. Yeah, exactly. Like, I always tell people this, like, hey, like whenever people complain about they have this awesome game idea, like I'm a game developer too. I do that primarily on my Twitch channel, just a side rant, and I'm actually working on a game. Um, but whenever people say like, oh, I can never build a game, it's too hard. Eric Barone, Concerned Ape, built a game with persistence. He didn't know C sharp, he didn't know any of that stuff, and he was able to do it. So all you need is the willpower to learn how to do it. So yeah, that's exactly cool. Everything is cool about Stardew. Everything cool about Stardew vanishes if a large studio. Yeah, large studios. Yes, exactly. Because to them, it's all about money. There's no passion. Chris Sawyer and the Grover brothers, also big solo dev inspirations. Chris Sawyer vanishes from the large studio copy. I mean to say. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Don't worry.
Linking to multiple Kirby games and some similar code names to Kirby games over the course of time. It could be either one, but I really think that the fact that we got no DLC for Mario Party Super.
You have to remember, these large studios, they don't care about gamers. They don't care about, what they're building. They just want to pump out content to make money. I mean, yeah, like once you grow to a certain size, and you go public, worst case scenario, it becomes, I mean, it's just something you have to do.
Superstars, even though I would have loved to see some DLC for that game. It's probably time to sell another Mario Party. These are solid staple Nintendo hits, and I do think that Nintendo could do something from the ground up, hopefully based around more button style mini games and not all the Joy-Con motion stuff, because I really enjoy those games as opposed to the motion stuff. But either way, regardless of which direction they go, I think they do a fresh new mini game collection this time, and not like a mix up of all of the most popular games over the previous series history. I think we go into a fresh new direction.
I actually like mini games. I really do. They're fun time wasters, especially when I have like nothing to play and I'm super indecisive. Like legit, mini games are fun.
And maybe they just call this one Mario Party 11, but we'll have to wait and see for that. There are a few outstanding ports and remasters that we could still see make it over to Nintendo Switch.
Okay, so this is all like speculation. We'll see what happens
in the current generation, starting with F-Zero GX. Now, there has been some discourse online around this game recently from Nate the Hate, and he's kind of clarified that while he has heard of this project behind the scenes, he couldn't get full clarification on if F-Zero 99 was the F-Zero game, and it was kind of just bad information or information that didn't correlate to the right game. And there's kind of a coin toss chance that we could see F-Zero GX make it over to Switch as a remastered project, but Nintendo did sure do a lot of love and updates and support for F-Zero 99, and it does kind of feel like they're dipping their toe in the water to bringing this series back to life in some way, shape, or form. And I think before we get a brand new, from the ground up new F-Zero experience, they take one of their GameCube classics, give it some modernized HD visuals, give it some controls and quality of life enhancements, and really it plays great at its core already. Throw in the online play with 30-player online racing and leaderboards and some enhancements like that, and you have an easy project that you can sell at the end of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, and a huge win for fans. The next port or remaster that does seem like it could be in the pipeline headed to Nintendo Switch,
here it comes,
is none other than Kid Icarus Uprising. We have had Sakurai more or less tease this game, at least it very much seemed like he did in one of his YouTube videos, where he said that he hopes somebody...
I played as one of the characters in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So I recognize this character, I just didn't know what the game was.
Will port it to Nintendo Switch and stops and stares at the camera. We also know that Bandai Namco was clearly hiring for a 3D action-adventure game of a remastered title, and that could very well be pointing to Kid Icarus Uprising, and this would be a great game to bring over to the modern audiences on the Switch, on a console that you can play it on your TV. I think there's some really cool implications if Nintendo decides to do that, and I'm hopeful we see it.
I always played as Mega Knight and Toon Link. And there was a character with a gun, a laser gun, and I just kept shooting. And eventually they decided to like come and attack me, so yeah.
Pokemon Legends ZA is the big Pokemon title we know to expect.
Fly right. I don't remember much of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but I mean,
in 2025 for Nintendo Switch, and I'm very excited for this title, but that doesn't necessarily rule out the conversation around there being something else Pokemon in 2024. And while typically,
I'll be honest with you, when it comes to Nintendo, I was like a single issue gamer. Like, I only cared about, like, the only reason I wanted to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl was because there were a bunch of maps from Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And that was, like, enough for me to be like, yeah, I want to get this. I want to play this.
Typically, Pokemon saves their announcements for their own presentations. They have also been featured at direct presentations.
Was I satisfied? I mean, so-and-so. Eventually, I kind of got bored. I did like Hyrule Warriors, though, which is a Zelda game, Zelda Purity, so it has more of what I care about.
Presentations, and I could see either Legends ZA getting some kind of gameplay trailer here, and we're just more hyped for that game to come in 2025, or it very well could be revealed that there is a Pokemon White and Black remaster for the holiday season this year, or maybe we get Let's Go Johto with Gold and Silver getting a modern day remaster in the Let's Go style of games. I think either of those options would be awesome, and I am hopeful that we have Pokemon here in some capacity at the June presentation. As much as I would love to predict something Donkey Kong, I honestly feel like the next time.
Not super into Pokemon. Sorry if that offends you, but I mean, I don't hate Pokemon. I got no beef with Pokemon, but I'm just not like a huge fan of Pokemon.
And we see DK, it is going to be on next-gen hardware, and while it's not entirely out of the question that Nintendo couldn't show us something early for their next-gen console, it's also been confirmed that the next-gen console will not be featured at this event, so don't expect any of that. And I actually...
Wait, it actually won't? Oh. So everything I said was just gunk. Okay, never mind then.
I think most of the games we see, if not all of the games we see featured here, outside of maybe some of the third-party stuff, will only be headed to the current model Switch and not necessarily the next-gen Switch. So I am thinking that DK, while he's long overdue for a return, I don't necessarily think it's tied to this, and in fact, I think it's more likely that we see him featured next year at some point, maybe the February Nintendo Direct, right before the console is getting ready to launch, and hopefully it's a launch window game, aka out within like 3 or 4 months.
Advanced Wars 3 when? I don't know.
After the console's launch. So I'm not expecting anything DK. I would love to be wrong about that, but it would be weird timing to bring him back so late into the Switch's generation, and I think this might be something that's saved for Switch 2. There was a couple new trademarks filed recently from Nintendo for Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush and Stretchmo. I think maybe both of these games show up in some capacity as simpler games we might be able to look forward to. I don't know how they're going to...
Yeah, what is Kirby? Like, I know what Kirby is, but what are the games like? Like, I've never played Kirby either. Like I said, like, the only Nintendo game, I'm like a Zelda loyalist, basically. Like, that's like the only Nintendo game. And I played some Mario, Super Mario Baseball, and, Super Mario U. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kirby has its share of fans. I'm not one of them, unfortunately.
To do Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush, considering that game was mainly based around touch controls on the Wii U. They might just use the Joy-Con motion sensor and the IR sensor to point at the screen and draw where Kirby goes, but who knows, they might be bringing that back on the Switch, and it might be at this event, it might be saved for down the line, but the trademark filing was not just a simple renewal, it was actually like a new filing signaling that Nintendo's probably doing something with one or both of these games. Stretchmo, I haven't played myself, and I do understand there's a small fan community around it. It looks interesting enough from the trailer, but
yeah, Kirby is more for a younger demographic, for sure. Yeah, like definitely for kids. So if you played it as a kid, and it has that nostalgia element, if that makes sense, because there's certain games that take you back to a happier time, like take you back to a more innocent time, a special. Like, for me, that was like The Hobbit 2003 on Xbox. And yeah, like a lot of people's was Ocarina of Time, which was a fun game, and I could totally, like on its own, like without nostalgia value, it's still pretty fun. It was the first Zelda 3D Zelda game, I believe. But for me personally, it was Wind Waker, which is why I'm constantly pushing Nintendo, like asking if anyone from Nintendo is watching this, please release Wind Waker for the Switch. That's all I want you to do. Anyway, yeah, so mine's like Wind Waker. But yeah, Zelda is definitely more. So I don't know, why can't they like. Yeah, I mean, this is a golden opportunity they're missing out on. Don't like AAA companies want to make money? What are you doing, Nintendo?
Not necessarily one that would be a shoe-in pickup for me, so if one or both of those show up there, that would be additional software we can look forward to, but not anything that necessarily excites me in a big way. I think the big 3D Mario is obviously saved for the next-gen console, and we probably won't learn about that here, although there is the one-off chance that they could reveal it as the big show closer game, and then just say that it's coming in 2025, and even show something like Nintendo.
Wait, what is this? Which Mario is this? I would definitely play this.
Nintendo Next Gen logo at the bottom, or call it the Switch successor, whatever. I'm not expecting that to happen, but Mario could be here in some capacity. It's very low on my expectation chart, and I honestly think that it's more likely we see the Mario Party game or even a Mario sports game, like we do a baseball thing next for Mario, and that's maybe coming out to Switch, but I'm not expecting any.
Bro, I was literally just talking about that. Super Mario Baseball. It's a fun game.
Kind of major 3D Mario presence to be here whatsoever, and then that leaves the big series that I am most hyped for, and that I do have some level of confidence that will show up in some capacity at the Nintendo Direct, and that is none other than the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Yeah,
and you may or may not remember.
Here we go. By the way, Link's Awakening is fun. Link's Awakening is a fun game. Like this was made in, if you're familiar with game engines, this was made in Unreal Engine 4, and it ran on the Switch. I don't know what frames, like, but it ran pretty smoothly when I last remember. So yeah, and even the original Link's Awakening was pretty fun too.
From my very recent video that there's something going on right now with a hint from Papagino, who has actually revealed some other games in the past for Nintendo, that Nintendo's planning something with Zelda as the main character in a Zelda game. So that might be
I'm actually not opposed to that. So what they should do is do a co-op. So you play, like, Zelda's an NPC, follows Link around everywhere. But if you play as a co-op, then if you play with a friend or something, your friend would play as Zelda. Or you guys can, like, switch. Pick which character you want to play as. I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
Very interesting one to reveal at this Direct. I am very much holding out hope that it might finally be time to see Wind Waker and or Twilight Princess HD make it to Switch. That would put it over the top.
That's an interesting idea, because then you don't have to completely cut out Link. Yeah, exactly. Like, give the player a choice. Hey, if you want to play Zelda, well, you can. Like, so there's like 3 options here. The first option is you can play as Link. Funny though, they called the series Zelda for over 30 years and are finally getting to let you play as Zelda. Yeah, exactly. Like, as far as like where should it be, like as Tears of the Kingdom sequel? I don't know. I'm kind of done with that version of Hyrule. I don't know. I'm not a creative genius, like when it comes to existing IP. So, what would I like to see in a new Zelda game? Well, actually, wait. I take that back. I'd like to see a sequel to the Wind Waker, like basically a Phantom Hourglass remake. I had this written down. I forgot the details, the specifics for what I wanted, but it basically played like, it was basically a darker, grittier, but animated game. So like you would have like, do you remember the game Prince of Persia: Warrior Within? It would basically play like that. Link would like instead of just like watching Tetra disappear on the ghost ship, you'd be fighting monsters on the pirate ship, and then you'd be fighting I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, it would be more like a darker, not Twilight Princess darker, but more like an anime. Like Link would be more of a a battle-hardened warrior. He just defeated Ganondorf, right? So, yeah.
Top for me. I think that those games, one or both of them around the holiday season, make all the sense in the world, and it might finally be that dry window that Nintendo's been saving them for this whole time, if we are to believe all of the rumors and leaks around those games. Essentially,
okay, so I take those rumors and leaks with a grain of salt, because they said it was going to be released in September 2023. Nothing. Okay, maybe they have it developed, and maybe it's just sitting there and just trying to figure out a release, and maybe they were planning on releasing it in September 2023. And then they ultimately didn't do it because Tears of the Kingdom was already finished, was already playable. So they didn't really need that extra time. So, okay, I mean, I feel like that might be what actually happened. But you never know with Nintendo.
Just being done and on a shelf, but then I could also see them just doing a 2D Zelda and doing something Link's Awakening style with the Oracle games or Minish Cap, or
that's also another idea too. Minish Cap, Oracle, why not both?
Anything else within the Legend of Zelda franchise, A Link to the Past or A Link Between Worlds. Like, I think,
yeah, A Link to the Past needs a Link's Awakening makeover, 100%. Like, although the original one is pretty good, but the Link's Awakening reskinning, I guess, or just a remake would be nice.
think we get something Zelda in 2024. The question is what, and if we are going to get something in 2024 for Zelda, it should in theory be at this Nintendo Direct presentation. So let me know in the comments down below what games you guys really hope are here at this June presentation, which ones you think have a high likelihood of showing up, and which franchises you think will be there, and which ones you're kind of not expecting to show up so much. Also, do you think we will see anything in the way of next-gen console games, or do you think that Nintendo will entirely focus this on Switch software, more or less like they outlined in that initial announcement? So thanks so much for watching the video today, everyone. Make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave the video, whether we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Okay, this was a good video. I highly recommend you new Zelda game reveal next month. Okay, I gotta watch this. Let's watch this quickly. Then I'm gonna wrap it up.
Who's ready for new Zelda on Switch?
By the way, this guy's pretty good too, so definitely check out. I'll link this in the comments. So definitely check out his video too.
This year, and I'm not talking about the Wind Waker Twilight Princess ports that everyone believes are for sure coming, because guess what?
Okay, so when it comes to Zelda and Nintendo, especially like now, any news is good news.
Maybe they're not. Maybe there's a different Zelda game in our midst and a different type of title that we're...
And by the way, let's like keep an open mind when it comes to Zelda, because a lot of people freaked out at the graphics when Wind Waker released because it didn't meet the gritty expectations, and so Nintendo mistook that as, oh, people don't like it, so they shelved the sequel. So let's like not get it. Let's actually like keep an open mind. I'm curious. Anything Zelda is good.
We're going to be playing later this year. Today we've got updates on the big rumor about a Zelda protagonist.
I understand that's quite a low bar, but you know what? Nintendo deserves it.
Protagonist title coming to Switch and soon. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Hit that like button if you're ready for new Zelda in 2025. No, 2024. Time flies, but not that fast, friends. Anyways, 2023 was Tears of the Kingdom. 2020 was Age of Calamity. 2017 was Breath of the Wild.
Age of Calamity is so underrated. I feel like nobody talked about it. Maybe it's because like it's a non-canon. and people just got bored. But, you know, it's a fun game. Not as fun as the original Hyrule Warriors, but definitely a lot to do.
While then 2019 was Link's Awakening. Those years are out of order, but we do have new details on Papagino's hint that a Zelda main character-led Zelda game is coming. He posted a video and has a new update in his podcast talking about that he's confident in this Zelda protagonist title, that he didn't just tweet it out for no reason, that he wasn't just trying to be cute, that it wasn't just to troll people, that it's legit. Here's that original tweet right here. The capitalized letters spell this is a hint, and he's letting people know that a
Tears of the Kingdom had a great Zelda design. I think we are severely overdue for a game where Zelda is the main character. Seems to me a Hyrule adventure like this is something fans want. Now is the time. Yeah, we were just talking about this earlier.
Zelda-centric game is what he believes is coming. Now, Papagenos also says that he can't speak in depth about it right now, but he might in his June Direct predictions video. Dun dun dun! That to me says a lot. If he can't talk about it right now, but he's going to talk about it in his June.
Yes, okay, I heard this before. Inside information. Take it with a grain of salt.
June predictions video. It's probably coming in June. It's probably going to get announced in June, and my guess is maybe he's waiting for more of a green light from other leakers. If Pyro starts squawking about a new Zelda, maybe Papageno will feel comfortable letting loose what he has if Necrophilippe or others start discussing this, or maybe he just wants to save it for a big video around that time. I don't know, but either way...
Or none of this is true.
Saving it for his June Direct predictions... I mean, for all we know, the June Direct is the only big Direct this year, the only general Direct, so that would be the place to announce it.
I'm not going to live stream it as it goes on, but I'm going to, like, go through it and give my thoughts, like, after the fact. I mean, I'll probably watch it first, and then... Actually, I'm not going to watch it at all. I'm just going to, like, not watch it, and then watch it while we're live, right from my GN. I haven't really decided how I'm going to do it, but, yeah.
He goes on to say it's not related to the haircut concept art for TOTK that he showed in that initial tweet. He just used that image as an opportunity to tweet out the hint. So the haircuts and the image and the TOTK have nothing to do with it. It's not related in any way. It's not. He also says that it's not related to the rumored Breath of the Wild enhanced port for Switch 2, so that throws out any idea that maybe there'd be some extra content or that he's referencing an upcoming Switch 2 game. This sounds like something that will fit in the interim between now and Switch 2. So everybody is getting excited and everybody is jumping down one pathway, which is Hyrule Warriors. Everybody thinks a new Hyrule Warriors game is due, a new Warriors game in general, whether it's Xenoblade Warriors, another Fire Emblem Warriors, another Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity dropped in 2020, and a year and a half later they already popped out Fire Emblem Warriors again. So they make those happen quickly. Now, I personally don't think a new Hyrule Warriors would be that exciting. We already have plenty of Warriors titles on the Switch, including 2 Hyrule Warriors, one a port, one a new entry. And is there really a main character in a Hyrule Warriors game? Is there really like a title character? Can you really say that Princess Zelda is the main character? I suppose you could, but wouldn't that feel a little bit like...
Not really. I mean, the title is Hyrule Warriors, which means you can play as any of the major Zelda characters from across the multiverse.
Cheating, kind of? Like, there's so many characters in those games. If Princess Zelda's in there, is she the main character? Is she the title character? The only way to me that works out is if Link is not in that game. Now, could that be the case?
Basically,
could they be diving
ensemble.
deep into TOTK and Breath of the Wild lore? Could they be pulling something out to have Zelda be the focus and not have Link? Maybe. But my greater hope, my far greater hope, is that this is related to a new 2D title or an alternate genre title. Link's Awakening came out in 2019, and that's longer ago than a Warriors game. So if you believe that we're due for a Warriors, we are sure due for a 2D Zelda. Now, remember this. Nintendo consolidated their home console and handheld console markets with the Switch, so there's been no opportunity to release 2D Zelda except on the Switch. And they've done it once with a remaster/remake of Link's Awakening. They have not created a new 2D Zelda, I believe, since Link Between Worlds, which is a fantastic game.
I think we're getting to the meat of this.
And we know it's not that because that features Link as the main character. A Zelda-driven 2D Zelda would be so sick. And I legitimately think it could be a huge contender for one of the best games of the year. Maybe not game of the year because a 2D title, it's tough to do that. But it would be a contender. I think that they could make some incredibly interesting puzzles and really make...
Are you kidding me? Vampire Survivor was... I don't know if it was game of the year, but it definitely won a bunch of awards.
A very compelling story and build a super unique art style. We don't know what they would do. Would they go with the more like puppety toy type style of Link's Awakening? Would they go with some really HD 2D style to make it look like Minish Cap but way less pixelated? Would they create a whole new style? I don't know. But I'm really hoping that it's a 2D game or an alternate genre game and not another Warriors title, because Warriors would dilute the point of Princess Zelda being the focus character, the main princess, the main protagonist.
Sure.
There's so many characters, it just seems like it would feel like a cheap skate way to make Zelda the main character by utilizing a game that already has tons of other characters. No, Zelda deserves to be in the spotlight, like Princess Peach was in her Showtime release. Now, you could also do a different genre game, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be a Warriors title or a 2D Zelda. It could be a 3D game. It could be a 3D game that takes a totally different twist and spin on the Legend of Zelda franchise, and maybe it's not a dungeon diving RPG. Maybe it's something different. I really don't know what that would be. I don't necessarily want a Princess Zelda cooking game or a Princess Zelda...
No. Anything but that.
The board game.
I got no shade against cooking games, but we play Zelda not because of cooking. There's plenty of cooking games out there already. You don't need to blend anything. I mean, if they want to, sure. But in my personal opinion, am I actually going to play it? No.
Or a Princess Zelda. You know what? Actually, a Hyrule Town Builder that was kind of like an Animal Crossing spinoff, but also a Zelda spinoff, that would be pretty hot.
I disagree. I wouldn't play that either. I wasn't really that big into Animal Crossing. It was a really good game, and it's right, and, you know, people enjoyed it, for sure. I'm not saying it's a bad game, it's just not for me.
But other than that, I don't know what they would do. A platformer with Princess Zelda doesn't necessarily feel appropriate.
Platformers are... For a Zelda game, I mean, Link's... Adventures of Link, I guess, is... I don't know, it depends on who you ask. Either they love it or hate it.
But maybe...
But
I'd be super down for a unique platformer with Princess Zelda that incorporated Zelda elements and puzzle solving, or even just like a Captain Toad style game with Zelda as the focal character, solving puzzles. Zelda's a great character for puzzles with magic, with all sorts of Zelda-type items. Could be very neat. But I feel like it's going to boil down to a 2D title or a Warriors title, and I'd love to know where you fall. Do you want this to be another Warriors game, knowing that we have a lot of Warriors games? And I think even more importantly, knowing that this would be sort of a very easy way to say Zelda's...
The Warriors games are very action-packed. So that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but it would definitely I understand the point, though. It would dilute the focus of Zelda.
The main character when you probably have other characters. And even if Link's not on the box art, you probably can unlock Link later in the game. So, like, what the heck are we even doing? I think this is more likely going to be, if we believe Papagino's rumor at all, right? Like, we could get to the June Direct and find out, oh, it's just Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. This was a false alarm. We have had false alarms. You got to be careful of that. If it's not Pyro, there's a chance. Everybody else has been wrong at some point. Everybody else has had either bad info, jumped to conclusions, misheard, misunderstood. So there's a chance this doesn't happen at all. But if it does, I sure hope it is a 2D title featuring Princess Zelda. I think that's the ultimate release, and I think it's a great late cycle release. 2D Zelda obviously is not as popular or as powerful as 3D Zelda, but 2D Zelda still has produced some incredible titles, some of the best of all time. Link to the Past is undefeated, and many of those 2D titles are still fondly remembered, whether it's Minish Cap, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, plenty of others, Link's Awakening even. Now, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages have been teased as remake material, but they did release on Virtual Console, and Nintendo is so remake heavy right now, I think that it would be in their best interest to drop a new 2D Zelda. And if it's going to have Zelda as the main character, it surely can't be Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, unless they do some weird hybrid remastering remake, but switching out the main...
Wasn't Link Between the Worlds a hybrid remaster remake? Because it really wasn't the remake of Link to the Past. It was a completely new Zelda game that was, I guess, a sequel to Link to the Past. I don't know.
Main character. Like, could they do Ocarina of Time, but you play as Zelda? Is that even humanly possible? I don't quite know.
Probably not.
But I don't want it to be Warriors, and I'm sorry, Warriors fans, if you're hopeful.
You can use the same graphics, sure, but like to set it in the same timeline as Ocarina of Time, would that be possible? I don't know.
There could be a Xenoblade Warriors game. There could be no Warriors game, but I don't want the Zelda slot taken by a Warriors. I personally would rather 2D. I personally would rather Wind Waker come back. I would personally rather Twilight Princess come back than another Warriors game, because we have 2 of those on Switch, just in Hyrule, and then 2 others in the Fire Emblem universe. You know, it's time for a mix-up. We haven't had a 2D Zelda in 5 years. Release the 2D Zelda. Metroid Dread was phenomenal.
Has it really been 5 years? Or am I just stuck in 2019? Well, goddamn, it really has been 5 years.
And then we're following that up, hopefully, with Metroid Prime 4. We had Tears of the Kingdom. Now let's go a little bit backwards and do the 2D, but do it right with Princess Zelda as the main character and make something that is super memorable. I think that is the ultimate way also to draw attention to your 2D title. The 3D Zeldas get a lot of buzz. You didn't really do DLC for TOTK. Zelda, main character, 2D, awesome, gorgeous art style in a relatively slow Nintendo Switch year. It's a big hit. It's a big seller. I think it could be absolutely incredible. Just don't be a Warriors game. Anyways, I'll keep you posted with Papa Gino's drops closer to his June Direct predictions video and any other details that may pop out from any other leakers. But right now, fingers crossed that we hear about this Zelda game in a month. June is a month away. The Direct could be 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. I'm freaking pumped. I hope you are as well. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching.
I'm cautiously pumped. Skeptically pumped. I don't even know if there's a phrase to describe my version of pumped, but I am somewhat pumped. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Switch Force out.
Good video. Definitely check this guy out. He does good work. 420 subscribers. Make it 1 million, because people like this need to be pumped up. Alright, y'all, that's the show. You know, if you're watching this on Twitch, please follow. Which means you're probably watching this a recent video. My Twitch videos usually never stay on because I don't really ever clip them. I usually just export it straight to YouTube. So, yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, cool. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you disagree with what I said, make sure you specifically mention it. So, who knows? I might actually do a reaction to your disagreement, or in the comments I might actually let you know if your points are valid or not. I don't know. But just do something to show your support, and all of it is free. So make sure you do it. Stay positive. I'll see you guys later. Good luck, and good luck with your game dev. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to be doing pixel art. So I'm actually going to learn pixel art so I can actually create some of my assets from scratch. I think that's a lot easier than, relying on someone from Fiverr, because they might have a completely different design. But if I actually take matters into my own hands and create my own pixel art, then you'll have more control, I guess. I don't know how to do that though. So, and I have a course on Udemy that I'm going to be working on. Yeah. And well, you're in luck because I have no idea how to do it, and I'm going to be learning it this Saturday. I usually do game development on the weekends because it's more cognitively. It requires more brain power than I have right now, and I'm exhausted. All I want to do is just lie down. I mean, I just work I work 8 hours a day, so Sure, you need longer stretch. Yes, I do. Yeah. it used to be the case where I would get up in the morning and I would have to get up at like 4 a.m. in the morning, actually 5 a.m. And but before I know it, it's already like 9 in the morning, you know? I don't think 4 hours isn't like, actually, no, I'm sorry. Did I say 9? I meant 8. Yeah, so I do need like a long stretch, like, yeah. Presumably an entire day. Well, preferably an entire day, but yeah. Anyhow, I've babbled long enough. Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Key Value. Make sure you follow me. I definitely want to hear from you again. It was fun chatting. I really like talking about Nintendo. I mean, even though Zelda's the only game I care about. But thank you for showing me the Mario Kart JS. I'll see what else they have on there. But yeah. See you later. I'm really bad at outros. Hopefully I'll get better with that too.